favourite to be champion by the end of this evening. We'll wait and see who is when we I've finished up here with round 8 of our championship. It's myself, Ewan, and James Parfitt alongside me for this final round of the championship. And it's at Daytona as well. A great place to come for the final race of the season. It is going to be a very, very close race. Even if we don't get a real championship battle with lots of twists and turns and drama, although we might get that, in fairness, we're certainly going to get a close race because it's going to be very, very difficult for anybody to get away in this circuit that has such a big slipstreaming opportunity on the banking here.
Yes, there is slipstreaming aplenty on this racetrack, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they all get on here. It's a very interesting situation in the standings as well. Bella, you know, knows what he's got to do. Needs friends in and around him. He's got Aidan Coote working with him at the moment as well, and he knows he's going to need this, partly due to the fact, obviously, the amount of auto moves that are probably going to help with Jordan McDonnell trying to get him to the front. So this could be very exciting indeed.
Well, it's going to be a little bit different this time round to what it was last season when the auto moves drivers were all able to help one another. It's going to be a different story this time round. Let's just show you the situation. Phil Vella currently leading by 41 points over Scott Bartine. That means that Vella needs a top 6 or better to win the title here tonight. Curtis Webb is in third place, 68 points back, and John McDonnell 88 points back. That's going to take a real disaster for Vella to drop behind him, but you never know, I suppose. Will Ryan is in 11th place overall and is leading the Silver Class Championship by a good 27 points at the moment. Oh, sorry, way more than that. What's that? 73 points, sorry. Can't do the maths. 73 points between first and second in the silver category. And that means he only needs 16th place or better to be champion at the end of today. So in the silver category, it's all but locked up for Will Ryan. In the gold category, there is still a lot to play for. I know some people have been talking beforehand about the fact that it's really Phil Vella in his hands and he only needs to make a mistake or he definitely does need to make a mistake, sorry, for somebody else to get past him. But I'm not sure I agree with that, to be honest. If he finishes outside the top 6 and Bartine wins the race, then Bartine wins the championship. And you know, finishing outside the top 6 is not all that difficult to do. So this is, you know, this is really important for Phil Vella. This is not a very, you know, this is not a very big championship margin, even though it looks like it at 41 points.
Yeah, I think that's the thing here. You go in and you sit back and you go, wow, is Vella's to lose? And technically, in a long shot, it probably is, but it's also Scotty Bartane's to win. Scotty knows what he's got to do, and at the moment he's sitting in second place. Vella down in 8th place. So Vella's he needs places to go. He needs moves to make here from Phil Vella, so that's going to be very interesting as well. In the team standards, it's also looking a little bit racy at the same time here because auto moves are out in front on 7.19. Everything simulated are on 6.95. So that's still quite close at the moment. What's a 24-point gap between auto moves and everything simulated? So that's all up for grabs at the same time. So we'll try and keep an eye on the team standings as well. But I think here for now, is it really all on Phil Vella? It's got to be all on Phil Vella. Surely he's got to make sure that he can be within position. The pressure's on Bartane to go and even try and get 6 places in front of him, even take the win. At the moment, Vella's just gone up to 5th place. Bartane's still sitting in 2nd. So there's still pressure on both of them. But I think Phil Vella might be in a little bit more of an easier spot because he hasn't got to directly go and try and win or try and get position.
Yeah, that will be a help for him here, sat in that position. We are under the lights here as well. Not sure whether that's how we're going to be starting this race as well. I suspect so, since that's what is often happening at Daytona. Yeah, it will be. So be about 9:15 in sim start, maybe close to 9:30. So it will be dark throughout the duration of the 45-minute race, which is what we always have in this series. One more thing, by the way, before we get this race underway, and good afternoon to everyone who's joined us. It is, of course, the last round of this season. It is not too far away, though, from the start of Season 3. We'll be starting in early July, on the 8th of July, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 8th of July. running for another 8 weeks, I think. And so very much hope you can join us for that as well, starting in early July, a month off or so. But Season 3 will be returning here in the Player One Sim Gears Super Formula Lights Championship. And between now and then, the recruitment series will be going on. If you want to get involved in the new season, join the Discord, either via the website or indeed, I think we've got a link in the... Oh, no, the website will be somewhere
it will be.
Yeah, and you can find the Discord from there. Of course, you've got to be in Australia or New Zealand to participate. But if you are and you'd like to participate in the recruitment series, and then, of course, the full season, the Season 3 that's coming up in July, then make sure you join the Discord and get involved, because it's a fantastic league. Thoroughly enjoyed covering this for the last couple of seasons, actually. And once again, we've been given a great championship finale. I mean, the standings we got after round 5, for example, just sort of shows exactly what this series is like. What was there? 4 or 5 drivers covered by 10 points. It's been another remarkable season, and we've got another great championship fight to the end of the season, just like we had last season.
Yeah, exactly. And it always comes down to the last round as well. So I'm interested to see how this one materializes. Is it going to materialize the same situation like Danny Davidson was in the battle last year as well? And there was a whole story written that round, and I think this one's not going to be any different here. I'd like to pick up on this young man at the moment. Mr. Robert Ridgway is out on the racetrack in America. I think it's about 3 a.m. for him, if I'm not mistaken, currently. And I believe this is the first round that he's taken part in, but he is out on the racetrack. So fair play to Robert Ridge coming out on this one. But however, it's thinking early.
I forgot I don't know where he is in America to know that. But anyway,
I don't think it really matters. It's still 5 or 6 hours behind us.
Well, it's true. Quarter to 6 in the morning at best. And I say at best, that means if he's on the East Coast, if he's all the way on the West Coast, it'd be 2:45 in the morning, which is a very late night indeed on a Monday, as it still is over there. Well, Tuesday morning, depending on how you look at that. But anyway, yes, good to see him out there. And bleary-eyed, he will get himself onto the grid around 30th place. We've got 31 in the field, though. Julian Snez is the only other driver to have not set a time just yet, and everybody else has done. So, excuse me, Julian Snez will hopefully bring up the rest of the field. There's Will Ryan, currently the first place in the silver category in qualifying at the moment. Vella's got up to 6th place in this one. Bartine, though, consistently in front of him. And you just wonder whether that is going to be a theme of the race or not. Only problem Bartine has got is that Auto Moves Racing are in front of him. And he hasn't really got any teammates around him either. Angus Milne's down in 7th.
That could be the downfall. I think that could be the downfall for Scotty Bartane, is the fact that he hasn't got teammates in and around him. I think that's going to be the problem. I think there's going to be a lot of working together here from Auto Moves at the front with McDonnell, Webb, and Mara. And I think the likes of Phil Vella, needs friends. Scotty Bartane needs friends, and I don't know if them two are going to get it unless they're going to work together and try and be friends together until the end.
Well, purple first sector for Vella, and that might be an improvement. It is 3rd place, exactly what Phil Vella needed. He just jumps in front of Scott Bartine. It looks like McDonnell and Webb are not going to need an improvement, although they might make one as they come through the final corners right now. Jack Mara's with them, so I wonder whether they're trying to give him the best possible chance here. They're very close at the back there. That's not particularly ideal. And now there's all sorts of pulling off here and all sorts going on. It's going to be pit lane for McDonnell. Curtis Webb is going to slow to the line. What about Mara? Does he get anywhere here over the line? He does. 2nd place. And Auto Moves Racing go to 1, 2 and 3. Surely the team's championship, if they finish like that, will be settled. Well, it will be. But what about the driver's title? That's the best possible start for Auto Moves.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, we'll have to find out and see how they're going to play this now. Are they going to keep Jordan at front, and Mara and Webb are going to be acting, almost like defending their quarterback almost, with, Jordan being the lead man? Are they going to go and block and defend and try as much as they can on that one? You know, they've got to be a little bit careful as well, because obviously there was a lot of things come out after last week as well. Jordan, of course, was part of a admin review in regards to the incident with Seth Burkhardt at the end of last week as well, and has been put on a probationary list where basically he will be monitored closely on driving standards. So that's one of the things that come out from last week. At the same time, there was other stuff that's caused drama, but I think at the end of the day, the admins have handled it well and dealt with it fully. But it's going to be about what is going to happen here, who's going to be able to stay at the front, and what is Vela going to be able to realistically do here. What he doesn't want to do is end up in any form of incidents or accidents with anyone from the Auto Moves team, because it will, regardless, look very, very suspicious indeed. Had it in other series as well, where somebody from a team has taken somebody out by complete accident, but it wasn't looked upon in that way. So we'll have to see how this one goes, and hopefully there is no incidents or accidents to talk of.
I think that's a big wish list, but anyway. Let's see. John McDonnell has taken the pole position for this qualifying session to Jack Murray and Curtis Webb, 1, 2, and 3 for Automoves Racing. What a great start to the day for them. Phil Vella will be 4th ahead of Scott Barchine, rounding out the top 5. Craig Edwards next up. Then Angus Mirren and Seth Burkhardt on row 4 ahead of Aidan Coote and Mark Healy, rounding out the top 10. Will Ryan and Jake Robillard are on the first row of silver class drivers. Jordan Masroli is next. He dropped out of championship contention late on at Mugello last week. As we know, 131 points back now for him. Daniel Byrne alongside. Jay Dixon's third in the silver class alongside Daniel Ackland, with Tristan McLaren and Madeline McGee sharing row 9. Marcus Knitzer and David Gallo round out the top 20, with Aidan Loretti starting in 21st. Really needs a very good race here if he wants to overhaul Will Ryan, as we know. David Gallo rounds out the... Alex Stevens, is on that next position, 22nd. Then Douglas Gowans and Scott Pocock, who are on row 12. Top Box is next ahead of Chris Swadlink, with Dave Roberts in 27th alongside Nathan Verney. Jason Madden is 29th ahead of Robert Ridgway, with some safety cars down the back. Sinese is the last driver in the field. As I say, 31, but he didn't get a lap in qualifying. So it's, I think, a standing start. They're starting on the banking. This could be the most lively start of the season.
Yeah, I did talk to Tom about this, and I said to him, are you sure you really want to do a standing start, right? Because obviously we've seen multiple cars do standing starts here, and it all goes wrong. Now, Tom has said he has not had any problems with getting the SFL started off the banking. So, we'll have to see how it goes on here and see what goes on. But apparently, according to them, they've had no issues getting the SFL started off the banking.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I believe that, but...
No, I don't believe it either. I think there's going to be drama. I literally stated, are you really, really 100% sure you want to do standing starts on the banking? Yep, no issues, no problems. Okay, enough then.
I think I hope, I should say, these drivers have practiced it, because I feel like it will take a bit of practice to actually get off the line. To be fair, these Super Formula lights don't actually wheel spin very much. That becomes the real problem, really, on the banking. When you're trying to get going from a standing start like that, it's flooring it and having the wheel spin. You would just spin around. If you had a V8 supercar or whatever, that'd be a disaster here. So I think the Super Formula lights, we might get away with it. Let's see, though, as we get underway here from Daytona. The final time this season, 45 minutes of racing. And we should be getting underway in a few moments' time. Here we go. The lights are about to come on now. McDonnell, Mara and Webb, top 3 for Auto Moves as we get this race underway. And it is going to be a clean start from everybody. As I mentioned, the banking, not too much of a problem for these guys because they don't wheel spin too much in the Super Formula lights. Really single file in towards turn 1, actually, as it's difficult to make a difference. The teammates will stay top 3. Phil Vella will stay in 4th place in championship winning position for the moment through the first couple of corners.
Yeah, Vella done what he's got to do. He had to hold on to that top 5, and he did. sitting in fourth at the moment. Mara and Webb have swapped places. It does look like everybody got away rather well. We haven't got Robert Ridgway at the moment. He's in YouTube chat here as well, so I'm not quite sure what happened to Mr. Ridgway. Why didn't you take part in the race, Robert? Let us know. But at the moment, McDonnell on the run down in through turn 5, going down into 7 now. And McDonnell leading the way. There's been some drama. This is not good. There's Aiden Coote going all the way down the bottom of the order, facing the wrong way. That is not at all what anybody wanted. And Aiden Coote did not want to be doing this, especially for Bill Vella. Oh, I think
was he hit there? Was he hit? I'm not sure. And then he went for a spin through the West Tor chute after that. I'm not sure whether he was hit on the way in, though. And for Phil Vella, that means he's got no teammates around him. Now, closest teammate will be Jay Dixon, but he's a silver class driver, and so he's not going to be able to provide much assistance. And this is the problem. Mara then gets into the side of Vella, or at least defends a little bit from him. And this is what's going to happen here. McDonnell and Webb are going to run away at the front of the field. It's going to be Jack Mara's job to stop them. Here comes Scott Bartine, who really needs to be with those leaders, really, but he's not going to be able to here. Tries to get the double slipstream, but he's not going to get anywhere on the outside there through the banking of NASCAR turns 3 and 4. Here comes Vella roaring through on the outside line as Craig Edwards comes into the pit lane. In towards turn number 1. Vella should be through in the middle, although Mara's still stuck up on the inside line here. He's going to defend. The top 2 are going to be away with this, and Webb and McDonnell are going to fight out the win for themselves. There's a spot, there's a spin in the background, and there's contact. Marcus Kanitzer, I think it is, who's gone around, and maybe one of the Everything Simulated Racing drivers has gone into the side, I'm not sure, but there's disaster down the back end of the field. It wasn't turn 1, lap 1, it was lap 2 where it's all gone wrong.
Yeah, I think that may have been actually starting with Will Ryan here. Ryan's on the outside line, and all of a sudden I think he spins. Oh no, there was tyre lock, and then bang, Nitsu's just sat there. Whoa, dude, slow down. And that was Will Ryan, Mark Healy, Tristan McLaren, all involved in that one. Yeah, unfortunately not a good start for others, but I will say one thing, these guys need to clear Mara. Mara is doing a great job defending what he needs to do here, but for Vil Vella, he's got to get past him, and he's got to get past him quick.
And it's probably already too late, to be honest. 1.5 seconds with 2 teammates working together. I think that is done already for the race win. It's going to be between Webb and McDonnell, but how are they going to win the title from there? Webb has got the best chance at 68 points back, but that means Vella only has to score 32 or more. That would be 14th place or better would be required if it's Webb who wins the race. And right now, Vella is certainly going to achieve that. He is going to move through into 3rd position here just for the moment, although Mara is not going to give this one up just yet either. Bartine right with him here in towards turn number 1. Vella's got to be really careful in this situation. He doesn't get involved in an accident, because it's all well and good in trying to get into 3rd place, but he absolutely can't afford a crash.
Definitely cannot. Can't at the moment. 1.8 now. Bartane's got to be patient. I know for Scotty is going to be there, sitting there busting to try and go through, but he's got to allow Vella to go through first. It's going to be really, really bad at this moment in time if Vella makes any form of contact with Mara. Going to try and go here. He doesn't want to leave the inside line open for Vella, for Bartane to come through. He's just got to make sure he can stay with him currently at the moment, and it's where it's all going to happen currently here for Bill Vella. It's back on the banking again. Got to try and clear Mara, or at least stay ahead of Bartane. That's the thing for Phil Vella. So does he really need to push this? Probably not at the moment. Would he like to? Absolutely would. So we'll see what happens with Vella here. Bartane's got to be patient. They can't be fighting this early on, otherwise the front 2 are gone.
Well, it's still side by side here. Vella and Bartine again this time round. Is Mara going to let Bartine through instead, maybe? Not sure here. No, not quite. And Bartine will only get through into 4th place. Couple of quick ones, by the way. Robert Ridgway said he just did some laps for fun, and that is that's fair enough. He's not going to race on this occasion. And Flavia Dantas asking what the point situation is. We'll try and keep you updated throughout the day as much as we possibly can. Phil Vella would win the title from this situation. If he finishes inside the top 6 at all, he will win the title. So that is the situation on the road. Angus Mill, meanwhile, does get up now to Phil Vella. And that's going to be a big help to Scott Bartine here, who's now got a teammate up to help him.
Yeah, but still for leaves Vella in 6th. One of the interesting things I want to pick up on Adrian Loretti. Look how far he is ahead of Will Ryan at the moment. I don't know if it's mathematically possible without sitting here trying to work some things out currently, but I think Adrian Loretti's put himself into a great spot to at least give it a good old go.
He has. We'll get the maths done in a moment, but 27th place for Will Ryan would be just 11 points. As I mentioned at the start of the day, Loretti is 74 behind, and so what would that mean? He'd have to score 85 or more. 85 points or more is second place or more. That's going to be very, very difficult to do.
Yeah. He's putting himself in with an opportunity. Well, fair play to Vela, for Loretti on that one. Bartain now.
Oh, hello. Oh, dear. I thought Vela was going to make that 3 wide. It's almost like slow motion, isn't it, on these straights for these cars?
Yeah.
He's going to get pushed as well from Vela. 2 championship rivals helping each other here to try and overhaul Jack Mara. And it's going to work for Scott Bartain. Has Vela just pushed his championship rival, though, into a better position here? Because he's not going to get any place here. In fact, he's got the momentum going away from him right now. And here comes Angus Milne. Mara will try and get back past Bartain as well, or will he push him maybe? Not through the banking, he won't. No, and not indeed on the straight either. He'll pull alongside, and Vela's going to get the double slipstream here. Where's he going to go? Is he going to go 3 wide maybe right up to the top, or is he just going to play it safe on the inside line here defending? Let's see. It's, yes, outside line defending.
He switched.
No, weaving round inside instead. Very nearly cut across Milne there, actually, as he gets down the inside of Mara. He's the big one to put in your rearview mirror, and Phil Vela has now managed it.
Yeah, he has at the moment. He switched on Mara there. Mara thought he was going to go high. Mara went high. Vela thought, nope, I'm going to pull it back under the outside. Now Mara has got Angus Milne putting him under pressure as well here. This is where the battle's going to take place. Webb and McDonnell are a little bit further on and a little bit out of it at the moment. I'm not going to be and say it's definitely done up front, because I believe that if people can work together behind, then it is possible for them to catch them. But at the moment, Angus Milne has got a job to do. He needs to get Mara away from Bartain as much as he possibly can here. And he's got to make sure that he's got to work for the team. The draft is strong. Seth Burkhart's also in the picture. He's going to look at going forward at the same time. But what's Seth going to do? Is he going to play Angus Milne and try and go past him? Or is he going to push Angus Milne upwards? There's a lot of team strategy. There's a lot of friends going on. There's a lot of my mate, your mate, whose mate, I don't know whose mate you are. But there's a lot of it going on at this moment in time here. And this is going to be who's got the most friends, I think, is going to take this championship.
Aidan Coote has had no further action for his incident with Mark Healy. That's what the notification is about on the bottom of your screen. Angus Milne not being a particular help at the moment to his teammate, I'm afraid, who is going to be forced to defend from Vela and Mara alone here. And indeed, Burkhardt is going to pull alongside. Masroli is going to gain as well. But Mara then is going to be into... No, not into third place. Thought he was going to make it 3 wide. He's going to just shove Vela out wide, and he's the real target here for Webb and McDonnell. It's about getting Vela as far down the field as possible, but that's proving very, very difficult to do. And Vela would have to finish below some silver class drivers for either of the Automoves racing drivers to take the title here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. But I can tell you one thing. Mara's in a rotten position in conjunction with what he does here. He goes for a move, and there's contact of any sort on Vela, and it's deemed his responsibility. Oh, bro, it's going to be like an episode of EastEnders kicking in here in the Discord after. It is going to be dramatic. Tamara's in that really bad spot. He's like, I want to go for it, but I know if there's contact, I'm going to cop the blame here regardless. So he's got to really think about how he's going to be dealing with this situation in the car. Got to look at getting a clear run.
And Vela packs out of it, and you can't blame him either. That was almost a slow bicycle race down the back straight there. It almost looked like they all wanted to just back away from that and not lead coming out of the bus stop chicane. We're going to see a bit of that on the final lap by the looks of things, but Phil Vela now is going backwards. Seth Burkhardt gets alongside. Bartain should have enough to hold on from Mara, but does Vela have enough to hold on from the others? Burkhardt has rather impressively stayed alongside, and now he'll have to tuck back in again. Milne and Masroli will be coming here soon as well, and Milne's got to try and do something here for his teammate Scott Bartine, and trying to get past Vella any way that he can. And Burkhardt can't go down the inside, and that means Milne can't either, but he can at least take Burkhardt's position, and he will do, up into 6th place now.
This is so enthralling. The front two have gone. Burkhardt's going back up the inside again on Milne. While they're fighting, this is great.
Oh, Milne's gone.
Oh, Milne's on the grass. While they're fighting, this is great for Vella because he can concentrate on trying to go forward. Now for Milne, he's got Mazzaroli in behind him. The Mazzaroli's going to have a go at him. Mazzaroli goes through. So at the moment, Vella's still in that 5th place. He's still in that top 6, and he's now got a bit of a buffer going forward there at the same time. So there is a lot of games that can be played here. There's a lot of chapters going to get written in the final round book here, Ewan. I don't think we're done by any form of the imagination. And to be honest, it only takes one slip up from somebody up front, a pit lane speeding penalty, a missed pit box, not putting something on. It's still dramatics that can happen. So we're looking forward to that one. Car 59 has got a 10-second penalty at this moment in time. That's Mark Healy. I wonder if that's running into the back of what went on in the corner.
Yeah, not sure, because he's just been absolved for one incident, but he's got a penalty for another one. So 10 seconds for Mark Healy. We'll try and keep an eye on those incidents, by the way, coming through, because there was plenty going on there on lap number 2, as we saw. McDonald Webb continues to lead, though. If Webb wins this race, then he needs Bartine to finish 4th or worse. He needs Vella to finish, what did I say, 14th or worse? I can't remember what I said. But something like that. He needs Vella to be a very, very long way down. And unfortunately for Automoves, it's looking very difficult for their drivers to win the drivers' title. But for their team, this is the perfect possible outcome at the moment. Looks like they're going to win the team's title with a 1 and 2 and a 4th place. They are surely going to take more points out of this than Everything Simulated Racing, who have got Bartine in 3rd at the moment and Milne down to 8th place now. So looks like the team's title is going to go their way.
Yeah, I think that one could be a little bit more sewn up. However, Milne's still going at Mazzaroli here. The other one of Everything Stimulated is Robillard. He's chasing down Adrian Loretti, who's out in front in silver. James Mann has just had some form of drama. He's gone off the side of the circuit, unfortunately for him. But at the moment, for Loretti, he's doing everything he needs to over Will Ryan. He's got to hope that maybe Ryan doesn't finish. I don't know if that's really big, massive difference, to be honest with you. But Loretti's putting himself in there. He's giving himself an opportunity, and that's where he's got to do at this time. Daniel, well, that's had insult to injury for Mark, and the paint's still cursed on the broadcast. I don't know, Dan. I did say sort Mark out. I've used 2 lots of paint packs, and they're still not picking up the yellow. So I don't really know what you want me to do here, fella.
Also, I can't really see them anyway. This circuit, to be honest with you, I need to turn the lights up. Very dark out there at the moment. But anyway, through the bus stop chicane. No, just positions changing, to be honest, through the field. This is just a few seconds behind the silver class battle for the lead. Loretti and Robillard hoping for a final race win of the season. As Roberts comes through past Byrne here. Marcus Knitzer, who was not involved in that lap 2 incident, by the way. It was Will Ryan instead. It's Knitzer to the outside here, though, over the line. As, they're going towards turn 1. Really slow top speed for these cars, I've got to say, on the high banks. They're coming through on the inside. Giuliano Sinese up to 15th position. What a great start from him, up 19 places already.
Yeah, great start from Sinese there as well. One of the things I'm a little bit confused. Oh, Dougie Gowans, what have you got yourself into, man? Oh, my God.
It's Craig Edwards as well. And towards turn 1.
Oh,
yeah,
he's going to hit.
Oh, and he grabs the wall as well. He just grabbed the wall, and I think that's damage to the front right that he'll have to come in and repair, unfortunately, for Gowans. So, unless he's got away with it. No, I don't think he has. So that's a real shame for him. But that's what happens at turn 1. That pit wall is very easy to hit if things go wrong.
I've hit it coming out the pit.
On the pit limiter?
Yeah, I was in it. Moved my coming out the black box and affected my.
Goodness me.
Why? Told you I'm not that great driving that often. I mean, so.
It's not something I'd admit to be honest.
I think. Well, do you know what we should do? Do you do anything Friday mornings, Miss?
It depends what day, but
Friday.
Quite late the night before.
Friday mornings. Australian, 10:30.
Sometimes. I was going to say, are we really going to go for negotiations live at a broadcast here?
No.
Anyway.
It wasn't negotiations. Not like, I'm not going to negotiate. Yeah, it was like me and you doing a league. So we'll talk about it after.
Anyway, here comes Masroli down the inside, through on Milne, by the way, and Vela drops to 8th place. So that's all happened in the last lap and in the last couple of moments in towards turn number 1, in fact. So just going better for those who are trying to get past Phil Vela, and my goodness, he'll be nervous at the moment, I would expect. Down the inside of Angus Milne, he can't afford to let that teammate play any more of a role here for Scott Bartine. And Vela is going to try and get through here, but can't do it at the moment. 8th place is just 51 points. If Bartine finishes in 3rd place with 81 points to his name, that's going to be a 31 point, or a 30 point rather, championship gain, and he'd only be 11 points behind at the moment. This is how it happens down in towards turn 1. Got no speed. Has he got a slow down maybe?
He's got something. Yeah, he has. That's why he's lost that.
Yeah.
Coming through the bus stop, Phil Vela. Now got to come back out. So he's still 8th. Where did we say he's got to be?
If Bartine is in 3rd place, I don't know. But for Webb, he's still got to be inside the top 14. That's going to be absolutely fine for the moment. Yes. So, yeah, top 14 for Webb. For Bartine, and we'll get back to that because he's not going to be in 8th place for very much longer. 3 wide over the start-finish line. Masroli, Milne and Vela, the championship leader on the outside line. And he will just back out of it through turn 1, but he'll go for the cutback instead. That's very nicely executed, and he moves up into 7th position. If Bartine finishes in 3rd place, which is looking like the maximum for him at the moment, then Vela needs to be in 11th place or better. That is still looking pretty comfortable for him in reality.
Yeah, it is at the moment. And I think that for Vela, he's just got to... It's really hard because we know where Webb needs him, right? He needs him down below silver drivers, right? That's fine. We know where Bartine needs him, which is basically below 6 places below him. The Bartane's in 3rd, so 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. For Vela has got to finish, and championship's a little bit iffy, but still all unfolding, and there's still pit stops, and there's still everything else that could go wrong, and it's still Mazzaroli just there with Phil Vela at the same time, side by side, coming into the bus stop. Vela's going to go through, Mazzaroli backs out, and away he goes. So, you know, there's still lots can happen. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot can still happen here, but if Bartine's not going to be in the top 2, then it is going to be a lot easier for Vela. The point system in this series is scaled so much that positions for passes for higher positions are a lot more valuable than passes for even for 6th or 7th place, as we're seeing here. A lot less points on the table than what there is for McDonnell and Webb, who are fighting over the lead themselves here. So yeah, it's still a good situation for Phil Vela, even as Angus Milne goes down his inside and goes through. This is why I'm surprised Vela hasn't pitted, actually. Get myself out of all this because it's got written all over it at times. And there you go! Loretti and Robillard battling for the lead in the silver class make contact.
Oh, that was just a squeeze and oh, it all went wrong. So, there we go. Loretti's still coming out on that one. 2 seconds back is Robillard. He's still in with Knitzer and Dan Byrne in behind him for the Carlins boys here. Here for Todd Parks in behind that. So these 4 still having a go at each other at the moment. I'm trying to get as many live scores as I possibly can. I did ask Mr. Donahue if we're going to have live scores, and he went, my brain doesn't work that quick, bear with. So he's on the mission to try and get us live scoring.
I think, yeah, I think we'll be fine for the moment, just to figure out where things... If things really change very quickly in the next few months, then the heads could start to explode, but let's see. Milne goes through on Masroli in the meantime as Robillard tries to pick himself back up again after that contact down at turn 1. Robillard's with Knitzer, Byrne and Todd Parks as well. All of these guys are the ones that are going to need to overtake Vela if he is going to lose the title from here. And therein lies the problem, I think, really. It's a very, very big gap, and they're scrapping amongst themselves.
The Bartane's in 3rd at the moment. He'll finish on 5:02. Vela currently, where are you? 8th on 5:13. So it will still be Bartain and Vela here as well. I'm going to send you something that I've just been sent through that makes our life a heck of a lot easier.
Well, I'll look forward to that. Loretti and Brobillard both come in. I don't know whether they've both got damage or whether they've just decided that after that spin it might be worth coming into the pit lane. But anyway, they have decided to do that. Burkhardt, Masroli, Milne and Vela, though, are all still in the slipstream here. And Milne is doing his best for his teammate Scott Bartine at the moment. But Vela still needs to lose a few more places from here to lose the title in this situation. And that is looking ever more unlikely. We approach the halfway mark. He's still the big favourite to take this title.
Vela has to be down in 14th for Webb to win. The Webb on 494. He needs basically Bartain down in 5th, Vela down in 14th. Will basically give 15th. Will give Webb the win. But currently, as they stand, Vela's sitting on 5:13. Bartain is sitting on 5:02. So Vela still wins currently at the moment. So there you go. Hope that sheet was.
Yeah, it is. It just shows once again that Bartine still is the best candidate really for taking over from Vela in the championship lead, if indeed it comes to that. Webb needs a lot of things to go his way at the moment. And for McDonnell, by the way, he needs an awful lot of things to go his way as well here. Even if he wins the race, he'll need Vela to finish down in 25th, for example, and he'll need Bartine even to finish in 8th, which is looking unlikely in itself, and Webb to finish down in 4th place. So all of those things looking pretty unlikely at the moment as Vela comes through now on the inside line, and Milne, not sure why he's been given the inside line there, and now we're back out of it on the way towards turn number 1. These two are on their own now, battling for 7th place. It looks like they've lost the group in front of them as well.
It does. Looks like Burkhardt and Mazzaroli have moved forward there. I love Jimmy Brahmas, but he did put in earlier on at the moment as well. Building for a dramatic race. Jimmy out there having a good old look. What's going on here? But Burkhardt and the moment and Rowley are coming. Going to be battling out on the racetrack for 5th and 6th. Milne and Vela just in behind. There's no real thing for Vela at the moment as well. Scotty Bartain sitting in 3rd on 5:02. Vela would have to be down in 12th for Bartain to win if he 3rd place. Still all on Vela here, able to do what he can do.
Yeah, it very much is in his hands. And that's the best way to be as a championship contender here. He's not even got any teammates' assistance, and he's still going to be big favourite here to take the title at the end of tonight as we do cross the halfway point now in the final race of the season. This is the Player One SimGear Super Formula Lights Championship coming to a conclusion here at Daytona. The next season starts on the 8th of July, and we'll be back for that here in the broadcast booth. Looking forward to it very much. You can join in if you're from the OzNZ region by joining the Discord and taking part in the recruitment series as well, which goes on between now and the start of the new season at the beginning of July. Masroli and Burkhardt, meantime, go side by side. Masroli backs out of that one. Vela not close enough to have it. Oh, and there's lap traffic as well for the first time. Vela will stay in behind Angus Milne here. Yeah, that's pretty awkward on the inside line, but they'll all get away with it. And by the way, further down the field, Will Ryan's having one of his worst results of the season, but it's still not going to be enough for the likes of Adrian Loretti, who require some very, very big scores to overhaul Will Ryan, who's all but won the title even before we started tonight.
Yeah, he pretty much is. We said that Loretti needed to be like in or second or something. Pro and well, Loretti not likely to happen any hitted, mind you. Still ahead of Will Ryan, but not by enough. Now, I'd like to point out the last person as well that's got to make a pit stop is the Nate Burney. Everybody from 14th upward not pitted. Okay, so you can see it on the left down there as well. Dave Roberts is not pitted either. He lost a place to everybody has pitted, where these guys still are fighting out have not.
Yeah, and that's a little bit unusual, but I guess people don't want to be stuck in, a bit like the Long Beach situation, people don't want to be stuck in the field further down, battling with people they don't need to be battling with in a slipstream fest like this one. And that's what the leaders will be particularly worried about. Don't expect to see Webb and McDonnell in to the very end of their fuel stint, which, by the way, would get you to lap 21 at this racetrack. So we have still got about 5 more laps to go, but it's one of the shorter fuel runs, it looks like, for these sub-Formula lights, because you're just burning so much fuel around this circuit, expectedly, really, because you're just on full throttle the whole way around here.
Yeah, pretty much to bear on that one. I'd be interested to know what do they do. Well, killing hour. So find out what they're topping going off around the banking. Put it in miles an hour. Can't convert from kilometres. Why I'm trying to do this. It's a bit. So we'll find out. But they do look. The interesting thing is they look very slow, which just confuses me a little bit.
Jordan McDonnell is suddenly back with Bartine and Mara and all the others. So has he made a mistake? Last lap he did a 42.1. Has he just slowed down to get involved now with the championship contenders and try and back them all up to help Curtis Webb win the title here? Because he needs, first of all, Bartine to be a lot further down the field into, well, not a lot further down, but into 5th place. I think Jordan McDonnell has slowed down to let Bartine catch him up and try and gang up on him here to try and get him to lose some places.
Well, let's see where Webb went through on McDonnell.
Yeah, I think he's just slowed down. I mean, obviously, this part could be a slowdown through the bus stop, but what about the rest of it here?
Back top.
Unless there's... oh, no, well, okay. I was going to say, unless there was a spin through turn 1 there, but it would have shown up otherwise. I think he has just slowed up here because, you know, there's nothing that Webb can do anymore. He can't gain any more places for first position, so he's got to try and get Bartine and Vella to lose positions here. And Jordan McDonnell has decided to go and do that because Webb is, of course, 20 points further ahead of him in the championship.
How is he going to get Scotty Bartine to lose position, apart from getting Mara through, which will still put Bartine at, well, they'll be tied on points here. See where I'm going with this? He can bring Mara past him.
Would put Webb into 2nd in the championship at least, but it's not going to get him to win it with Bartine in 4th. It's Vella they've got to worry about, really. For Webb to win, Vella needs to be a lot further down the field, but maybe that's what they're hoping for. Back these guys up so much that suddenly this becomes a group with Vella as well. But, you know, he's going to have to drop behind people like Marcus Knitzer here, Phil Vella, and look at the gap from Knitzer to Gallo even. This is, I mean, I get for auto moves, you might as well throw the kitchen sink at this and just give it a go, but this is so unlikely from this point with 16 minutes to go.
Yeah. There's only, well, hoping we're not going to have dramas whatsoever, but I can't see that working. Scotty Bartane's in pit lane, he's picked up on it. Has decided, well, he's going to go in anyway. Scotty's in now, unless he tried to slow Scotty down to basically make people who haven't pitted or who have pitted in behind him, the likes of Craig Edwards, try and get him out in front of Scotty, but Scotty's already on his way out. And Knitzer and Parks and Bernie hasn't pitted yet, so it's all where Craig Edwards is. He's a long way round. So Scotty Bartane's still going to be down in 10th place at the moment, which will put him on 4.66. Webb will win on 4.94, but Vella's still there as well. And let's not forget, they've still got a pit. So still lots of action taking place, and there might be some games to come.
That's another one of the problems, really. The fact that these guys haven't pitted yet means that they could very easily undercut or whatever Jordan McDonnell, well, yeah, undercut this stage, Jordan McDonnell, and come out in front of him, and there's nothing he can do about that afterwards. So this is a very dangerous game that he's playing at the moment. Doing it this early, but you know, it's again super unlikely anyway, as Vella now pulls back through on Angus Milne, who is trying to do his best as well. And it's not only Auto Moves trying to get in the way of Phil Vella at the moment, but it is also the Everything Simulated Racing teammates here for Scott Bartine. Angus Milne is doing his job at the moment, but there just isn't much he can do. Short of an accident here for Phil Vella, he's going to take this title, but an accident at this close quarters racing is a lot more likely, so got to be very, very wary of that, as he's now under pressure again. Here is Vella, so is Jordan Masroli with Seth Burkhardt as pit stops begin to happen. And there comes, Masroli and Burkhardt come in following Jordan McDonnell.
Yeah, I would have done that as well. If I was Phil Vella, I would have carried on. Knowing that he's got into the pit stop, the plan now is to make sure him and Angus Milne get a scurry on, try and get out in front of Jordan McDonnell here. If they can't, well, then do the next best thing. But Scotty Bartane, McDonnell's on his way out. Scotty's coming round into turn number 1, so they're going to be near enough. Give or take here with McDonnell still wiggling out at the moment. He still can't do it. A very, very slow exit. Where is Scotty? Look at the top of the screen. There is Scotty Bartane. He's going to go through.
Not quite, but it's not much of a gain, to be honest, for Jordan McDonnell. He's still got Bartine right with him here, and he didn't make any errors through the pit stop phase, and so that's going to be a real problem. Bartine trying to just get, his contact, and now there's going to be, nearly contact again there. McDonnell really slides, and he'll be unhappy about that. There was a small tap to the rear there, but Bartine is through.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to call that in. If RC are going to look at it here. It was a little bit of a tap, but there's a lot of other things that they're going to take into consideration here. Was there movement in the braking zone? Was there gaps? Was there effectively there was overlap. Oh. I'm going to leave RC before I go and get.
Let's see what happens with that one, as Vella is unable to keep Angus Milne behind him again. These two are basically exchanging places, helping each other at this stage. As we start lap 20, they should be able to do one more lap after this one, and Angus Milne will continue to try and do his best at the moment, both for the team in the team's championship, but also his driver Scott Bartine, who at the moment is teetering on the edge of finishing second or third in the title. It looks like that's the thing that's going to change most, or if at all here. It's whether Bartine finishes second or third, with Curtis Webb winning the race. He does need to be in fourth position, not fifth. But obviously it's all out of shape at the moment because the pit stops are still going on.
Pit stop's still happening. Whether or not Webb has... The chances of getting to the end were very slim without a stop. So I suppose there is a... the other way around, wasn't it? High chance to stop here.
Yeah, with a safety car.
Yeah, but it depends on what Webb's done in behind McDonnell for the first half of the race. So
I can't see him saving enough fuel. I mean, we've got ages to go yet. There's no way anyone's making it without a stop. I'm going to say that right now. Absolutely no way at all. Plus, there's no point. I mean, and there you go, Webb's into the pit lane now after 20 laps even. There's almost no point because those who are pitted are pretty much out in front of everybody who hasn't pitted yet, or anyway, apart from these guys at the very front of the field. As Webb and Mara come into the pit lane, these two might carry on for one more lap because that's what we expected them to be able to do, but there's no way they're going to save 10 minutes of fuel. That would be bonkers. That would be outrageous.
Curtis Webb is Mara. Not Lee. Mara's made pit lane. Scotty Bartane's going to clear Mara. Webb's going to be coming out of pit lane. Up. Buggy Gowan's there. Bartane jumped Mara. And he's jumped McDonnell. No further action. 5 seconds. Bar 85. 5 seconds.
I think the first bit is the what the ruling was before, but the second bit is the amendment. Car 85 is Adrian Loretti, who's got, I think, has got a 5-second time penalty for a racing rules violation. As Bartine defends again from Jordan McDonnell here, and there you go. Yeah, there is now a 5-second penalty for car 85, as you say. So Asian Alert has got that, and his very difficult job of overhauling Will Bryan in the Silver Championship has become even more difficult.
Yeah, and it's become almost... Ryan would... Oh, excuse me. So I think Will Ryan is going to be the champion, but for these guys, for Scotty Bartain and McDonnell, they've got to play it safe. McDonnell went in and tried to go too wide.
Oh.
Never going to work. Vella and Milner in now. They're in pit lane. They've got to get in and got to get it stopped. Phil Vella cannot miss making a mistake, do anything dramatic. Just got to get it in, stop it, get the tyre, get whatever he's going to get done. Go straight out again here for Vella. At the moment, Scotty Bartain. Oh, Vella's just on the way out, I think. He is.
Oh, Bartain will be through.
Yeah, he's still in front of Angus Milne. What about Mara? They need to be up to speed. They need to be up to speed.
He's going to get just through here, Mara. He's going to have the inside line as well. So Mara will be up to 4th position here. But that longer stop for him has put him in with these guys. This is turning a bit wrong for Automoves Racing. And suddenly they've gone from very comfortable in the Teams Championship and very unlikely in the Drivers' Championship to very unlikely in the Drivers' Championship and a bit more nervy in the Teams Championship as well. I'll do some maths on that in a couple of moments' time. But they are letting everything Simulated Racing right back into this fight for the team's title.
Yeah, they are at the moment, partly due to the fact that obviously Manel, Mara and Webb's there. Bartain's still sitting in second. This will give Bartain 511. With Vella where he is at the moment in 5th, it will give him 528. So Vella still will win. Webb, regardless, stays out in front. Webb, let's just write it all down now for everybody. He will be on 494. So basically, as long as Bartain and Vella are above 494, Curtis Webb will end up down in 3rd.
Yep. And that means that Bartain needs a top 3 because he won't win the tiebreaker, and Vella only needs a top 14. And so this, for Webb, is looking very unlikely indeed. For Vella, all of a sudden the nerves will be appearing, because Bartain will score 511 if he finishes in 2nd position, and that means that Vella needs a top 8 rather than a top 14 or whatever earlier on in the day. 9 points gained for 2nd place versus 3rd, don't forget. And so suddenly Vella will be a lot more nervous. He's gone wide there. Mara will now come through on the inside line here, and it will be side by side, in fact, through the chicane. Outside into the International Horseshoe. And Vella will stay in front, maybe. Yes, he will just shut the door now, ahead of Jack Mara, then Angus Milne. But as I say, Vella now will need a top 8, and there is 9th place, Craig Edwards, in this group. It is possible for him to lose this title if he finishes down towards the back end of this group here. And Bartain has got some new life in this season suddenly with less than 7 minutes to go.
What I would do if I was Vella, I would try and let Mara through without losing. Draft him. Try and draft him, because at the moment, Milne and Mara are both going to get the draft off him. Milne's going to get a double draft that is going to come at him like an absolute rapid rate of knots here. If I was Vella, I would try and slot in behind. I would allow these guys to go through and just sit in that 8th spot that I need with Mazzaroli, where Mazzaroli is, because at the moment, well, there you go. That's what I would do. Now just follow them. For Phil Vella, he's sitting in 6th at the moment. He can afford 8th. So even if you allow Mazzaroli to go through and Burkhardt, but at the moment, I would just do this. Sitting behind, following him at the moment. He's on 5.22. Scotty Bartain in seconds on 5.11. Still got 11 points difference to play with. I would just allow him here, because even if he is down in 8th, still 5.13, and that's where Mazzaroli is. So for Vella, don't do anything stupid from now on, dude. Literally not do any dramas.
This is getting very nervy indeed, and it's 3 wide. Oh, that was super close to contact for Phil Vella. And again, really close with Burkhardt and Milne. And Vella playing with fire there. He might now get away with it, because Burkhardt and Milne are going side by side. Milne absolutely wants this place. He wants to keep Vella as close as possible here. And he's going to keep the whole group quite close together. But on 2 occasions there at turn 1, Vela was super close to contact that could have ended his season. Here he comes down the inside of Mara now. He's really nervous in this situation, doesn't know where to go. He's got no teammates around him. He's got no safety net here either.
Oh.
He's got Mara in front of him who's trying to shut the door and will do. This is a nightmare scenario for the championship leader.
Oh, don't. This is nuts. I would not want to be finding myself here. I would not want to be putting myself in this position with 4.5 minutes to go. This is absolutely bonkers. Follow him as much as he can, because even if he tries to get over him, it still leaves the opportunity for something to go wrong. Don't put him side by side. He's going to take it. He will go, Mara, because he's got nothing to lose. Ella. Right, so we've either got a mindset of, I've just got to go, and if there's drama, or he's got to sit back and wait, and at the moment he can't. So we're going to find out what goes on. McDonnell and Bartain are also swapping places. For Vela, he needs McDonnell in front of him. That gives him a one-place buffer. Mara and Vela still scrapping out now as well, because if Scotty Bartain is down in 3, he's on in third, he's on 5:02, and that leaves Vela to be able to get all the way down to basically 11th to still win on 5:04. To be honest with you, look in the gap between 9th and 10th, I would let him go, because 11th seems a good old spot here, and he's about 4.5 seconds away from anybody else. So, yeah, lots to think about if McDonnell clears Bartain, which he just has.
And he's, he's going to be banking on John McDonnell if he drops to the back end of the group here, so he wouldn't want to be doing that. And he's close again, Mara here, on the outside line on the way towards the kink in the straight here. And now towards the West Horseshoe again, Mara's on the inside. It's super close. Vela is playing with fire here and playing with his title in his hands at the moment. Through side by side again towards the end of the infield. Mara on the outside line through turn 6, and he's going to get freight train now, is Jack Mara, unless he tucks back into line just before Seth Burkhardt gets alongside him. But is he going to, it's going to be close. He's not really got the space to do this though. Where does Seth Burkhardt go, and how does he want to be aggressive here? Masroli is going to gain as well. Where's he going to go? Here comes Burkhardt inside this zone, nearly contact on the straight again. It's 3 wide, oh my word. Vela here again, 3 wide through the middle, into the bus stop. He has to back out of it, and he does, round the outside. Here comes Masroli, he goes through. Now Vela's looking behind him, looking over his shoulder. Who's going to come past me next here? 2 laps to go, and suddenly it's not looking quite as good anymore. Here comes Edwards and Milne on the other side. The top 2 in this group are away with this, and Vela can't seem to get a hold of this at the moment. Here he goes on the outside of Masroli, who's got no slipstream help at all. Here comes Edwards, he's going to push him. Edwards pushes him past, and Vela's going to get back into 6th position here. This is really nervy for Phil Vela at the moment. He is teetering on the edge of throwing this all away. Side by side, his stall slides as well. Edwards is going to get alongside him now. Where can he go into the International Horseshoe? 2 minutes to go in the season, and Vela is only just a couple of positions in front of what could be a championship losing situation here. Milne gets through, and now he's got the best opportunity yet to help his teammate Scott Bartain, who's super close now to a title.
Scotty Bartain in 3rd will give him 5:02. Phil Vela in 7th will give him 5:17. So even if Scotty gets 2nd, gotta go, and Scotty's got to go and win. Bill can afford to be 7th, can afford to be there. Doesn't have to do any dramatics. With Scotty Bartain on 5:02, Vela can go all the way down to 11th. But then he's got the added thing, is McDonnell going to let Bartain through? Is Webb going to all of a sudden back up 11 seconds? I doubt it very much. Vela's got to put himself in this possibility here as well. And he's got to make sure he's still in around his 7th, 8th and 9th. There you go. Now he lets him go through. That's basically Vela into 6th. 5:22 for Vela, 5:02 for Bartain. Still as they are, final lap of the race coming up. That's going to be it.
And Edwards gets a slowdown as well here. So suddenly a lap of nervousness there for Phil Vela has turned all right now, because Scott Bartain, I think, might have just made a season-ending mistake as he went on that lap there. He needed a 41.9. He's got a 43.9. He might have had a slowdown somewhere. He's not in the slipstream for McDonnell, and now he's relying on being let to be overtaken there, and that's not going to happen. Mara and Burkhardt, meanwhile, go side by side. Mara will go through. Vela will hold 6th place. As you say, 11th place is good enough now with Bartain surely consigned to 3rd. It is suddenly looking okay again here on the last lap, but Phil Vela's heart would have been beating there.
Absolutely. There is no way if Vela stays in sixth now, Bartain can win. Even if he gets let through by the two guys up front, and I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but even if he does, he still only ends up on 5-2-1. So at the moment, Vela still takes the championship on 5-2-2. Scotty Bartain on 5-0-2. Curtis Webb, as we said, 4-9-4 regardless. That's it. What's Mara's play going to be in this final lap? What's the situation here as well with the two up front? They're going to go and want to win because they can't. They're going to want to win it anyway. They're going to want Webb to be in third place. That's where he's likely to be at this moment in time. But this is going to be the final lap. It's going to be drama. They're all going to be 3 and 4 wide. Don't do this. Phil Vela, back the hell out. You have got literally 2 corners to go.
Oh, and they very nearly crashed in front of him here. Through the bus stop chicane for the final time. In the meantime, Curtis Webb is going to win again. 4 race wins this season now for Curtis Webb. The consistency will have let him down this season, but he's been the fastest. And Vela has got some problems here. He's got Angus Milne down the field. Oh, McDonough's going to go let him through here. And Bartain's going to get into second. And Vela's going to be ninth. Oh, it's changed to the very end here. Phil Vela's lost it in the last moments. 9th place for Phil Vela's not enough here.
No.
And suddenly Scott Bartain's won the championship by a point in the last corners of the season. Phil Vela's lost it somewhere. McDonough's let Bartain through. And Phil Vela's lost this title. 9th place is not enough. Oh, my word. 1 point the difference. Scott Bartain has done it. He's won the title. And Phil Vela down in 9th has lost it, barring any post-race decisions, post-race penalties. He's lost it on the road provisionally. Scott Bartain is the winner of the Player One Super Formula Lights Championship.
Oh my God, that is absolute drama. McDonnell purposely slowed down to allow Bartain to go through. What the absolute blinking Nora is that about? That he was so desperate for him to not win it, he slowed down and let him through. I do not understand that. Oh, there where it was.
And there was contact with Milne. I knew there was something that happened there. Vela has made contact with Angus Milne, and after McDonnell let Bartain through, Milne has hit into the back of Vela, and suddenly this title changes. Not sure why Mara was so slow, but I think that was just a corner exit. Milne there has got overexcited straight into the back of Phil Vela, who might have lost the title there as a result of that. Goodness me. The stewards are going to have a decision to make after this one. As Angus Milne here, it's a difficult one to call, I've got to say. There's a lot of movement going on there, but Phil Vela, as things stand, has lost the title by a point.
I don't really know what to say. I think that is just crazy. Plainly honest, I find that astounding. I find the fact that obviously slow down that much to allow Bartain to go through championship, got to stop Vela doing it. Getting.
Well, let's see what the stewards have to say about that at the end as well, because of course we do have large stewards in this series, and they will be looking at it. It's Curtis Webb, though, who's taken his 4th race win of the season, by the way, an extraordinary number of wins for him. 15 seconds ahead of Scott Bartain, who provisionally is our champion this season by 1 point. McDonnell finishes in 3rd position in the end, with Seth Burkhart's 4th and Jordan Masroli in 5th place, which is where he's going to finish this season in the championship standings as well. Jack Mara is just in behind him, with Daniel Ackland next, then Craig Edwards, then Phil Vela, who dropped to 9th at the end. David Gallo rounds out the top 10. Angus Milne down to 11th for Everything Simulated Racing, who do lose out on the team's championship. That's pretty certain now. Marcus Knitzer wins in the silver class ahead of Aidan Coote and Daniel Byrne first, but in the silver class, Jake Robillard and Todd Parks were also on the podium. Alex Stevens were next ahead of Nathan Verney, with Dave Roberts and Jason Madden rounding out the top 20. Then Chris Swaddling ahead of Giuliano Sinese, who didn't have the best end to the season, unfortunately. 22nd for him, ahead of Scott Poggott, with Adjo Lurty, who wasn't able to get enough points. So Will Ryan, because he's right behind him, in 25th place. Douglas Gowns was 1 lap down, along with Jay Dixon. And Mark Healy 2 laps down. Madeline McGee and Tristan McLaren retired early on. And Robert Ridgway did not race, unfortunately, on this occasion. Let's have a chat to some of the drivers at the end of that one. Starting with Scott Bartine, shall we, I guess, because he is the
provisional on the championship.
Provisionally the title winner. Well, Scott, welcome in. Good to have you with us, and congratulations on provisionally winning the title by a point. How are you feeling at the end of that race?
Oh, a bit shaken. That's all I can say. It's glad the bottle of scotch is doing well.
Yeah.
Get the nerves, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what was the tactics like going into this race? Because Daytona is always a tactical race, and especially in the final race of the season, it's always going to be. What was your sort of ideas going forward, especially when after qualifying, when you saw the Automoves drivers in front of you? How did you plan about going through the race?
Oh, the plan was all the same. Sit with the front guys. Try to save a bit of fuel, catch them in the pit stop. That type of stuff. Then Jordan was sort of slowing us down, so I'm like, nah, I'm getting out of this. Pulled into the pits, and then he came out the pits beside me. I'm thinking, oh shit, here we go again. So it was a tough battle, but well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure. Well, congratulations on provisionally winning the title here tonight, Scott. And is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, all the boys at Valve Esports, Everything Simulated Racing, Everything Simulated. Shannon, mate, he's there behind us every week and helping us out where he can. RSW Graphics, RKS, Adrenaline Events, and Home Computing. Tom for putting this awesome league on. You and JP guys putting the broadcast on. It's awesome as always. And everyone for competing. I've got to give a shout out to Phil Vella. He was there with us practicing. So, without his help, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Well, thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, Scott. And congratulations on the title this season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Scott Bartine wins the title provisionally by 1 point here tonight from Daytona. Let's go through, as we normally do, the rest of the podium, starting with the race winner, Curtis Webb, fourth win of the season indeed. Congratulations, Curtis, on the win. Once again, as I say, 4 wins. How does that one feel in the end after driving on your own for quite a long time?
It's a bit of sweet feeling. Like massive congrats to Scott and Phil. But yeah, my championship was very messy this season, and they were consistent, so hats off to them.
As you say, half of the races this season you've won, half of them you finished outside of the top 10. Is there any single moment that you can pinpoint where this season slightly got away from you, or has it just been a sort of evolution across the season about consistency?
Well, yeah, no, it's pretty much all the races I've finished outside the top 10. Like something happened, like in Long Beach, I crashed with Mazzaroli, and then that put me out of the points completely from a second place. And then same with Spain when I hit Phil, and that put me from second to completely out of the points. So even if I just had like a mediocre race, I probably still would have had the championship clinged. But yeah, too many errors.
This is all to build on for next season, of course, and still at the end of that, only 17 points off the title provisionally. Anyway, not a very big gap at all. Congratulations on winning the final race of the season, though, Curtis. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Really quickly as well. There is some good news as you win.
Oh, lovely, sweet. I will take it.
Yeah, take it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously I'd love to shout out the team, Automoves. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Jack as well for being good teammates. Shout out to Motor Tribe, Custom Graphics, Sim Magic, Sim Blacks, Exodus, and you guys for the broadcast, and also for Tom for putting on a great league.
Thanks so much for coming to have a chat with us, Curtis, again. Congratulations on your 4th win of the season.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. That's Curtis Webb chatting to us at the end of tonight's racing at Daytona. Jordan McDonnell finishes in 3rd place at the end. And Jordan, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Again, tactical race from everybody, and we knew it was going to be here at Daytona. What was your sort of ideas behind leaving Curtis Webb out there on his own to lead the field, and you drop back into battle away for 2nd place, which ended up getting pretty lively towards the end? What was the thinking behind all of that for Auto Moves and for yourself?
Oh, I mean, mate, like I wasn't in any contention for taking out the title and whatnot. So for us, it was kind of return the favours to who's done us favours. And, at the start of the race, it was about trying to keep everyone bunched up so the battles could take place, and what happens through racing. And, as the field spread out a lot more, it was about kind of figuring out who we needed to hold up to get kind of the outcome we were after. And we didn't quite get what we were after because we were hoping to keep Scotty back in, I think it was like 4th or 5th or something he had to be, and Curtis wins, and then Vela like 11th or something. But, whatever it was, we weren't going to get both of them because they've both been quick all season. So we just took the pick on, I guess you could say, who's done us favours throughout the season and try and help an individual win the championship because we couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing you have managed to win for Auto Moves is the team's title, pretty sure anyway, at the end of this season. How does that feel as a team effort to take the team's title this time around, even if it hasn't been for the drivers this season for you guys?
Oh, I mean, it's still a good deal, like winning the teams. It's, with Curtis winning 4 races, me winning a race. Even round 1 before Lee got taken out, he won a race. I think the race wins ratio for the series was, I think we've lost 2 out of all of them, or maybe 3, and we've won everything else. So the team's title, it got close, but just a lack of consistency from myself, Curtis, and Jack throughout the season allowed it to be that close. So there's still work to do there, but I think we've always been in that top 5 group every track, regardless. It's either one of us there. So consistency on pace is great. Just the race results haven't gone our way in some circumstance. But back-to-back teams championships, can't complain at that. Didn't get the drivers, but nonetheless, we helped put up a hell of a fight, and hopefully you guys had a great time watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Won 5 races this season, as you say. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to finally before we let you go?
Yeah, just the whole Auto Moves racing team, all our partners that are on board, Dylan, for obviously owning the team and kind of creating everything. You guys for the stream, Tom for the league. Shout out to Phil Vella for some stiff competition all season. Wasn't very happy with me in the VC before because for whatever reason, but yeah, it's all hard racing with us. We're not here to make friends, but we're also not here to race dirty either. So we put up a fight, and we're going to do whatever we can to try and win it, regardless whether it's through the protest system or through on track racing. And you might not get a nice reputation out of it, but at the same time, we walked away with the championship, and we tried to get the drivers' championship closer than what it was. And yeah, last time I checked, we're here racing. So if they don't like it, then they can get over it.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you back again next season for more. Jordan, thanks so much for coming to have a chat with us. And as I say, we'll hopefully see you next season.
Yeah, maybe we might be moving into the F4 stuff. So hopefully we'll be back, but time will tell, I guess. But nonetheless, thanks guys for a great season on the broadcast, and thanks Tom for setting up the league and everyone involved.
Thanks very much. That's Jordan McDonnell finishing in 3rd place here tonight from Daytona, and Yes, at the end of the season, winning the team's title along with Auto Moves Racing. Now, very graciously, Phil Vella has come in to have a chat as well in the waiting room, which is very nice. Phil, welcome in. Thanks for coming to have a chat with us, I should say. I mean, how are you feeling at the end of that race?
Oh, it wasn't the position I was looking for. I think probably until the last lap, I had the championship, and then just had a bit of an unfortunate incident, and kind of didn't turn out that way. I was happy to keep it out of the wall though. I feel like that save was pretty good, but yeah, outside of that, not much constructive to take away from that.
Someone said that in the chat actually. That was a very, aside from everything else, it was a very good save to not end up in a worse crash for you. But there we go. Ninth place in the end, as you say. Where did that sort of go a little bit wrong? Because as you say, you were leading the championship right until the final corners of the race. Effectively, it looked comfortable at stages, but all of a sudden it seemed to get really nervous at the end, and the gap you were holding on to got thinner and thinner. Where did that start to go wrong in your opinion tonight?
Oh, I think when, we're out there to race, not to intentionally slow down people and choose which third car today is going to hold everyone else up. So I'd probably say that. And I think there's just a general lack, especially in some of the teams at the top of the rankings, of what I call sportsmanship. The ability to drive cleanly for 45 minutes without the shenanigans, without weaponizing a protest system, without backing people up on track or forcing them out, just getting in there and having a race that is hard but fair. And I think that's probably where the shortcoming is for some folk. I think 95% of folk are out there just trying to get better every week and getting in there to do their best. Unfortunately, just not everyone has the same mindset there. So ultimately, it's their loss. Yeah,
and unfortunately, it's just on the wrong side of a very narrow disadvantage. But thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us at the end. It's very good of you to do so. Is anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to my wife, Monica, for making the time. A massive thanks to the guys from DFR for the help and support through the season. Big thanks to JJ, who's helping me get prepared for these. Really appreciate his time. And a massive thank you to the ESR guys. It's wonderful to see Scott close out that championship. He's probably put in more work than anyone else out there, and so it's great to see that rewarded.
Well, thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, as I say, Phil, and hopefully we'll see you again next season.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Thanks so much. Phil Vella chatting to us at the end of tonight's racing. Sadly, for him, provisionally anyway, 1 point behind Scott Bartine at the end of this championship after leading provisionally for the whole of the race. Let's go to the silver category next, where Will Ryan has taken the title pretty comfortably in the end. Will, thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, and congratulations on the silver class title. But let's talk about tonight's racing first. Unfortunately, didn't seem to quite go your way. Just tell us about how that was for you.
Oh, it was a disaster, wasn't it? But it didn't really matter in the end, which is good. Good to get the series win. Knocking the top of a frothy right now. So yeah, pretty stoked either way.
Still 45 points you held over the nearest competitor in the silver category, even despite, as you say, a bit of a disaster tonight. How do you sort of assess this season as a whole in that regard? Because it is a big margin. You've looked pretty comfortable throughout as well. How do you think the season has gone sort of generally in that respect?
Well, I think after about round 3, I was like, all I need to do is finish races sort of in 20th or above and I'll be right. And yeah, sort of aimed at that, and that's sort of how it played out. I think I must have finished 12th like 4 or 5 times, and it's just, guys sort of crash into each other in front of you, and then you get easy points by staying on track. So keep it clean, and you end up at the top. So except for tonight, obviously, but
yeah. It's I suppose it could have been a bad time to have your worst result of the season, but as you say, 4 12th place finishes and a couple of top 10s on top of that as well. Very, very consistent championship indeed. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just the team sponsors, Lord and Diesel, Total Renault, Worm Paints, and Kyle, who runs Worm Paints. He does an awesome job. All the guys at Pace Syndicate, they're a great bunch of guys. Yeah, and then just in terms of the league, Player One Sim Gear, you two guys, great job as always. Thank you, Tom as well, and just yeah, everyone who raced this season. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, looking forward to next one.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, Will, as always, and congrats on the title this season.
Cheers, fellas.
Thanks very much. Will Ryan there chatting to us, the Silver Class Championship winner this season. Doesn't look like we're going to get Marcus Knitzer, the Silver Class race winner this time round, but there we go. We've talked to a lot of people, and we've got enough to talk about as well. What a great end to the season it was. Phil Bella held that title provisionally the whole way through until the very final corner of the season. You know, he described it as an unfortunate incident with Angus Milne, and fair play to him for coming to have a chat with us as well, because that was all really, you know, it must have been very difficult to take for him. But, you know, he's still come to have a chat with us, and I'm sure he'll be back next season at Phil Bell. It's just a shame that it's ended up for him this way this time round.
Yeah, I don't know. How, to be honest, could have been more vocal. Kept his cool, went well and good, well, but he could have been more about what went. A lot of things that take shape as well. Don't forget, guys, stuff involved in. Want to, of course. Well, I'll be here on the last 30-minute race, but we're going on 10th of June, Hockey Arm for a winner. Well, your link, site, go and hit it up. Aussie and well, so.
Yep, recruitment series indeed. Yeah, three races between now and next season in season number 3. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could have said more, I suppose, but at the end of the day, you know, there's also that argument around, you know, whether intentionally sort of battling with someone to try and get them to lose places is you know, something that should be not something you're not allowed to do. I don't know. That opens up kind of worms as well.
I think that whole don't probably the sportsmanship triangle, because people shouldn't do that. That for me is not your job. You've done everything your teammate to try and get involved with. It hasn't worked out, so then you're making a difference, putting yourself in somebody else's championship, and I don't like that. I don't think that's sportsmanship. I don't think that's really the way a championship should be won. So, but look, Scotty's done well, and I'm not taking that away from him. I just find that ending, yeah, a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, especially if I was from Vella's point of view on that one.
Yeah, he definitely will be. You know, that will be difficult for Vella. That is for sure. But you know, at the end of the day, you can't police against these things. So you know, that's what's happened. And Scott Bartine is provisionally our winner this season by just 1 point. We couldn't have asked for much more drama there towards the end. That is for sure. Tom's just popped in.
Are you guys there?
Hello.
Oh, mate.
Oh man.
We're still going.
We're still live.
Oh, we're still live.
We're still good. I thought you were coming in to have a chat with us on the stream, Tom. But
let us finish, Tom, and we'll be there.
Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, go for it. It looks like it was a good finish.
It definitely was, mate. It definitely was. Wrap it up then, Mr. O'Leary.
So okay, fine. we'll start off with just chatting away about the end of the season. Anyway, that is it for this season of the Player One Sim Gear Super 4 Lights Championship. Once again, a fantastic finish, as it always seems to be in this series. Big thanks to everyone who's been tuned in tonight, or indeed across the season as well. Of course, as well to the sponsors, not only Player One Sim Gear, our title sponsor this season, but also Print Racer, Ridgeway Racing Subs, RSW Graphics, Everything Simulated, and Capstone Marketing broadcasting as well. We'll be back for season 3 on the 8th of July when we are returning. Between now and then, the recruitment series, which you can get involved with, the Discord, as we've been saying, is available for you to join for the OzNZ region. So make sure you get involved. We'll be back for season 3 in a couple of months' time. But for myself, Ewan O'Leary, and James Parfitt alongside me, it's goodbye from Daytona, and we'll see you next season. Goodbye for now.
Cool.